One is a former professional wrestling champion with an affinity for bright, shiny objects. The other, a former video gaming champion with an interest in gaming, sports, and the occasional chicken wing. Together, they are constantly asking, WTF? This is What's the Finish with your hosts, the Rockstar Chris Cole and Brian Langell.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here right now live with Mr. Eric Doucette from Mexico, better known as Mr. Suave or Markus Burke. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, bud. Like you mentioned, I am in Mexico on my vacation right now, so if you don't mind...
That is awesome. I wish I had one of those to go with myself. So thank you for taking the time out of your vacation to talk to us about this, because right now you're like the hottest thing on the internet in the Maritimes.
You know what? Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.
It is... Like you mentioned, I am in Mexico right now. What a weird time to have a vacation, but I've been planning this vacation for about 4 months, so things kind of happen that way. But thankfully, my wonderful girlfriend has let me, kind of use the internet and kind of go with it. So she's very nice, very kind woman.
That is awesome. Tell her I thank her as well. That way we get this interview in. But This has got to be crazy for you right now. Like I said earlier, you're like the hottest thing on in the Maritimes as far as Twitter and Facebook go right now. Everywhere I look, it's vegan is tough enough.
It's been really good, and the Maritimes have they always been good to me. And even when I left in 2006, I left, and every time I came back, they were super awesome to me. They've always been great to me. It's just those type of people, they recognize hard work. We always have, and we just want someone to make it here. I mean, so many hard workers, so many great artists around here, and I feel like the world tends to choose people from bigger cities, and we're definitely ignored. So I'm hoping to start a little trend here and just let's just go for it. I mean, I know so many bands from Moncton, New Brunswick. There's 60,000 people, and I know legit about 7 awesome bands that I would follow at any point, and that's just mind blowing. So I think there's a lot of great people, a lot of great artists from Maritimes. I'm hoping to kind of shed some light on that a little bit.
Yeah, well, definitely. And I mean, usually when people hear of Canadian wrestlers, they think out of Toronto, like Edge and Christian. I think out of Calgary, they think Lance Storm or Bret Hart. I mean, we don't get a lot out of the Maritimes as far as the international scene goes.
It's been a while.
So... yeah, it's been a very long time. So, I mean, the fact, like I said earlier, everything I see right now on Facebook and Twitter is vegan is tough enough. I mean, you're definitely bringing the spotlight back to Maritime Wrestling, where if you look at the video that you posted for the tryout, you said that. You said that you want to bring, legitimacy back to Maritime Wrestling.
Well, like you just mentioned, if you go back to, you said Edge and Christian, Rhino, all from the same spot, but wherever they cut their teeth, the Maritimes, you know what I mean? That's where they learned their craft in Grand Prix wrestling. Obviously Bret Hart is a different story. He has his own family up there, and that's where he started training. But if you remember in the 70s, obviously in the 90s, you had the Edge, Christians, the Rhino, Joey Legend. Now he's big in Germany, and so many Kurgan. Hello, I mean, geez. So there's a lot of guys, Brody Steele, Cowboy Mike Hughes. I can go on, but I just feel like it hasn't been around for a little while, and hopefully I can bring that back. I even go back to the 70s. So I was going to say, Grand Prix Wrestling, they had guys like Ric Flair come in, and Andre the Giant, and Macho Man, and Lil Poffos, and this is definitely a wrestling territory, and it's been. I'm not going to say it's been dead for 10 years, but it's definitely been lacking for the past almost 15 years, 15 years, and hopefully me shedding a bit of light on the Maritimes will help it out a bit. And I'm not going to take all the credit for it, because Wrestle Center, IHW, there's some good federations in Newfoundland, PI, they're doing some wonderful stuff as well. So let's just keep on keeping on, and even if I don't get on the show, if everybody can keep supporting Maritime Wrestling, Maritime artists, let's just go. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. That's for sure.
No, Yeah, for sure. Now, I mean, when did you make the decision that you were going to apply for Tough Enough? I mean, because they only announced it a couple weeks ago that they were bringing it back to the USA Network, and bang, you were on top of it. So, was this something you wanted to do for a while, just waiting for the opportunity, or what happened there?
I already knew what I was going to say. It was weirdly enough, I heard that it was coming back, not from Triple H or anything of the sort. I was working that night, but I already heard about it. I have a few buddies in the I'm sorry, I'm French here. I do apologize, but
that's fine.
The system, the development system in Florida. So I already knew Tough Enough was coming back, and I already knew what I was going to say. The night I'm like, okay, I was kind of going on the dirt sheets, and like I always do, like when and I heard that Triple H said that the contestants or anybody could apply, and right away I'm like, I know exactly what I was going to say, because I've been wanting to say this for such a long time that it was kind of a no-brainer. It wasn't I didn't take 10 takes to take it. I think it was a 3-shot type of deal, and I put one of the outtakes on my Facebook at Markus Burke with a K. Add me up. So, it was like I already knew exactly what I was going to say. There was no script. There was no anything. I just went for it. It was 60 seconds. I can do 60 seconds in my sleep. So I was like, let's go for it. Boom, no problem. So I just decided right there. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, I've seen your video. Actually, yours was the first video that I saw, and then I saw some other ones. And what I noticed that was interesting about yours was you started with an intro as yourself, and then for the other 50 seconds of it, you're Markus Burke, and you're in character, and you're Markus Burke in the other 50 seconds of it. And I've seen some other ones where they're like, my name's Brian Langell and I'm tough enough, and just you should pick me. But
I know
they're not really portraying what they need to show that they've got what it takes. And you hit it right out of the park. Like you did what you needed to do as the Markus Burke character. And I mean, hats off to you, man, because that was awesome. It showed you as yourself, and then what you can do, as opposed to just a guy talking for a minute and a half saying pick me.
Well, thanks, man. It's something that I've always had personality. When you meet me in real life, I don't have much. People think I'm kind of an egocentric maniac because I don't talk much. Just because I don't have much to say. And but when I'm out there, when I'm in front of camera, it's just kind of I'm on. And that's kind of something I've been. It's just naturally. I've always had that. So that's what I said. I'm like, okay, I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm just going to show my personality right away. And I don't have. I'm 6'2", 215 pounds, and I stay away from all the bad stuff and all that stuff. And that's you can tell by just my chest and my shoulders. I'm not all huge and all that stuff. So it wasn't going to be my physique. I work out all the time, but I'm not going to show off my tremendous physique and all that stuff. What I really have going for me is wrestling and my personality. And I couldn't show off my wrestling. Well, I could, but I'm not going to show a match for 60 seconds or moves. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to scream and do my gimmick and do all this stuff. And I think it worked because, that night, I think it was Monday night, I posted it and went to bed not thinking too much about it. I'm like, I just threw it out there, put it on YouTube, put it on my Facebook, put it on my Twitter. Woke up the next morning and I had 5,000 views. And I'm like, 5,000 views is not like life-changing or world-changing by any means. But for me, a guy from the East Coast Canada, from the Maritimes, that usually if I post something there's going to be 1,000 views by after the end of the year, it's not too bad.
No, not at all. And I mean, like I said, I've seen it on Facebook. It's been retweeted. IHW's retweeted it for you. Wrestle Center's, doing it. But I mean, it's not only the promotions that are doing it, but fans are doing it too, right? Like they're getting all over it. I saw a thing earlier today where there's the WWE is swinging through the Maritimes this weekend, and I'm going to the Halifax show. And I've seen a lot of people saying, bring your signs, vegan is tough enough, to bring it there and chant, vegan is tough enough, to get the support out there. Which I mean, the fans are definitely taking over with this, right?
By you saying that, I got chills. I 100% got chills, and it's not a work for me. For them to get behind me so much is humbling, and just, I can't explain it into words. You know what I mean?
No,
it's
I get
insane. It's something that I've obviously everyone dreams of, but I've always been the heel. I've always been the guy with the face that everybody wants to punch. I've always been that way, but I've always been a hard worker, and and I don't want to shoot on anybody, but I'm so upset when guys are thrown into situations. He's going to be the main event now, or you know what? I'm going to say I don't even care. A JP Sims type where doesn't put any work into anything he does, looks like he does, and no offense to people that look like he does, but. Yeah. Come on, man. I put 2 hours a day in the gym every day. I work on my personality every day. I stand in the mirror for half an hour to an hour just doing promos to myself just to work on it. Study tapes I do, and you can tell by my work. You can tell that I stand out, and it's not me tapping myself on the back. There's just 10 years of busting my ass, and finally, this is happening to me. And maybe it's just my 15 minutes, but I'm going to enjoy this 15 minute.
No, you go ahead.
I just want to say, if it is my 15 minutes, so be it. But not only am I going to enjoy it, I'm going to push for it. And if not everyone, but if anyone wants to help me out, please, it's so appreciated. So if you go into the Halifax show, the WWE show, bring your signs. And I know there's a plan of they're going to start chanting "Vegan is tough enough." Join in. Feel free. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you don't like me, if you don't like what I do, if you don't like my wrestling, that's 100% cool. People have opinions and choices and who they like, who they don't like. So feel free not to chant. Right. But if you do chant loud and go for it. And, I'm in Mexico right now, and I would rather be, and I hate to say this, and my girlfriend will probably kill me for it, I'd rather be right back home in the cold, with everybody, just chanting right with them. But it is what it is. So I just want to thank everyone. It's been insane. It's been good.
No, yeah, and it's funny. Like we've been pushing it on our Facebook page. We're going to be talking about it on this week's episode of the show. This is a special episode we're putting out. Dedicated. You're the only guest for this episode, and and there's no rock star either,
That's
right?
good.
So I'm not being cut off, which is fantastic.
Chris sent me a message like, "Well, do you want to do an interview with me and Lanjo, or does Lanjo?" My answer is do it, Lanjo.
Well, thank you, sir.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, I have a message for you as well. My son met you at the last IHW show. And he's always known you as Vegan. And we were there before the show, and you introduced, like you talked about earlier, you introduced yourself as Eric, and you took the time to say hi to him and everything. And he's telling all his friends at school, make sure that you support Mr. Suave. It's funny, he doesn't want to break the character, so he doesn't say vote for Eric Duzet. He goes vote for Mr. Suave. So he's all over that. So when he heard that, this was just put together last second. So when he heard that I was interviewing you, and he was just gone to bed, he goes, make sure you tell him I'm voting for him. So he's a big fan, and he's supporting you.
Thanks.
So that's a big thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell him thank you very much. And if ever I make it, it's because of him.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, you mentioned earlier your Facebook page and your Twitter, and the hashtag is all over the place now. Vegan is tough enough. Just to repeat it, just to make sure everyone gets it, do you want to replug those so people can get in touch with you and support you?
My Twitter is @VeganWrestler. If you want to search YouTube, it's Markus Burke Tough Enough. There's about 35,000 views at the moment, which is
that's crazy.
That's insane. So there's that. And if you want to retweet the YouTube video, go on the @WWE Tough Enough as well. My video is there. Retweet that. Hashtag Triple H, hashtag WWE, hashtag anything about me. Vegan is tough enough. Just go crazy. If you feel like it, do it. If you want to help me out, I would so appreciate it. Again, especially if you're from the Maritimes watching this, man, let's do this, boys. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And you said earlier there, maybe if you don't like Mr. Suave or whatever it is. I mean, right now, like you or not, and I mean this with all the respect in the world, I mean, to get a guy from the Maritimes on to Tough Enough is life-changing for this area regardless. So I mean, I'm definitely hoping for you, and I've been throwing up the support and everything, and I hope that the Maritimes do as well. And speaking of the Maritimes, I should point out just very quickly that you are the 2014 Maritime Wrestler of the Year.
I am, voted by the fans, which is insane again.
Exactly. So I mean, you've got the support there, and you mentioned in your video you had 108 matches in 2014 alone. So I mean, this isn't just I do it every couple weekends sort of thing. Like this is what you do, and I just want to say thank you for taking the time on your vacation, and thank your girlfriend for me for being able to come on the show. And we're definitely supporting you, and we wish you the very best. Now, do you know when you may hear when the first round of cuts or whatever's going on? Have they given you any sort of indication on that?
No idea. And it's been insane. And again, there's a couple of guys on that made like the top cut, like me, on like the first videos and stuff. And I just like to mention that maybe I didn't get the most views on my YouTube like Tough Enough video, but I did get the most retweets of anyone. The most,
well, there you go,
pretty
right?
Cool. So the most retweets on the WWE Tough Enough, more than Keith, that skinny guy with the, did you see that one? He gets hit in the head with the chair. Something, I forget his name, of course.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
He's very funny. You got a lot of views, like 80,000. But he got the second most retweets because Markus Burke got the #1 spot. So that's very cool.
That is awesome. Now, just very quickly, talking about Keith, WWE is very serious when it comes to things like concussions and chair shots and everything else. And I know that his entire video is done with very soft chair shots. I'm not taking anything away from it, but you can tell that they're not hauling off and wailing on the guy. But do you think that a video like that may actually turn off WWE because it's 3 minutes of headshots?
Maybe, but I don't know. Very hard, very nice question. It's first of all, unfortunately, I forget his name. I was trying to remember his name. He has especially for the East Coast Canadians, we don't get his last name like that very often. But very funny video. The chair shots, I noticed right away, okay, but they still posted it, so I guess it's good. But again, I say wrestling a bunch of times on my video, and they hate that word as well. So, I mean...
Well, it's easy. It's one thing to say, Eric, stop using the word wrestling, as opposed to Keith, stop taking chair shots to the head. It's a lot easier to stop one than the other, right?
So I just don't want to. I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't know what they're looking for. And again, he's 100. I would assume he's not gonna. Maybe he's gonna put it. They might put him on for comedy factor because he's very. He seems very. I watch his videos. He's very funny. Very charismatic, but he is 140 pounds and doesn't look very big and doesn't look very tall either. So, again, whatever. Maybe, stranger things have happened, so who knows?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them, but I contacted, and I've got contacted for a few other guys. I was going to say from the couple of cuts, and they haven't heard anything. And so I'm just hoping tonight is Raw. So let's all watch. Yep. Are you posting this on Monday Night Raw tonight?
This will be on later tonight.
On Monday, perfect. So everyone watch Raw, and let's hope that a hashtag VeganIsToughEnough is on Raw, because Extreme Rules was on last night. Obviously, I was in Mexico, but I heard that there's some videos on there, and I wasn't. So before tonight, I don't know what time this is going to be posted or anything, but let's tweet Triple H, tweet WWE and WWE Tough Enough with the hashtag VeganIsToughEnough, and let's hope for the best. Let's hope they put me on Raw, and maybe we can get the ball rolling from there.
There we go. Well, Eric, I want to thank you for all your time on this, and good luck to you. We're all cheering for you, and we'll talk to you when you get back to the Maritimes. Enjoy the rest of Mexico, and the best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much. For all the Maritimes fans, I'm going to be in Quebec City in May, but June 5th and June 6th, Wrestle Center. I'll be wrestling John Morrison, Johnny Mundo from WWE fame. So June 5th in Halifax, be there. It should be an insane show.
Definitely. Actually, I think I'm making a trip over in June. I may do it that weekend then if that's the case.
Nice.
But yeah, that'd be nice. Anyway, again, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. Good luck, and I'm sure you'll be following Twitter to see what the views and everything is like. But we know that all of the Maritimes are pulling for you,
Thanks,
man.
brother. Hasta luego.
This has been a TPC Network podcast, available at tpcnetwork.com.